The Source Audio C4 synth is a synthesizer pedal with 4 oscillators, as its name implies. But in order to make those 4 voices sound interesting, Source Audio added some standard synthesizer effects like envelopes, modulation and distortion. Since you don't have to utilize those oscillators, you can just use these effects with your original input signal. The C4 has 13 different distortion models that it picks for synthesizer sounds and bass guitar, since you can blend in either your clean signal or just low frequencies via the low retain knob. You can even tweak the sounds with filter and tone knobs. Some of them sound great on their own with the guitar sound. The Octafuzz is one of them. The other one is the moderate distortion for some good stoner riffs. Besides the oscillators, the C4 has a polyphonic pitch shifter, but it's not one of the best ones out there. With quite a bit of latency, you can't expect sounds like the electro-harmonic spark, but when you add some other effects in it, it can sound great. Like the stock poly-pitch swell effect that utilizes the envelope to swell in the detuned octaves. You can also use the latency in the polyphonic pitch to your advantage for some wonderful modulated slapback delay. The polyphonic pitch in combination with harmony can create some 80s lead tones. When you add modulated detuning and send different voices to different outputs, you can emulate the stereo chorus. The detune knobs control the depth, but bear in mind that the depth is at a minimum when the knobs are at noon. With the mix knob set to completely wet, this becomes a stereo vibrato, and if you disable the detune modulation, it's a stereo detune. Besides controlling the detune, the LFO can be utilized as a tremolo effect. Now when you have 2 signals, each one of them going to a different output, and when you set the tremolo to the right output to LFO 2 and shift the phase, this becomes a panner effect. You can get weird when you set the LFO to something crazy like sample and hold. In combination with a low pass and high pass filter, you can create a harmonic tremolo with 2 voices in mono. Or set it to phaser and blow your brains out with his stereo effect. Without the LFO, you can create a crossover to split the bass frequencies and treble frequencies to different outputs. Not that cool of an effect, but you might need it sometime. Back to the filter. There's a classic wah filter that you can use as a classic wah, but also as an auto wah when you set the mod source to the LFO. With mod sources back to envelope, this becomes a touch wah. You can basically create any touch-sensitive envelope filter that you'd like. The envelopes can also be used to control the volume. In this case, I've created a volume swell, like the SLOWGEAR effect. So there you have it. These are some sounds you can create with the C4, but without utilizing the oscillators. If you have found some sounds that I have missed, please leave a reply in the comment section.